Welcome, I'm Taryn,
I'm Tori, and this is Healing with Traveling Treasures,
where we provide a platform for women to talk about how life's experiences and friendships have shaped us.
So come along with us and have some fun. We're so glad you're here.
I'm Taryn.
And I'm Tori.
On today's episode, we're going to tell you all about our 6,000-mile road trip through 23 states.
So I guess we should start with how and why we decided to embark on such a trek.
On such a trek. So, 3 years ago, you started going to Camp Breastie.
I did, and it was amazing. So, as we said in episode 1, I am a breast cancer survivor, and pretty quickly I found the Breasties, and they are an amazing organization. We will be talking about them later in the show, but I went to camp that first year in 2023, and it was life-changing. I went again in 24, and I was a cabin leader, and I wanted Taryn to go with me, so in this year, 25, I convinced her to go with me, and we decided to make a road trip of it. So I live in New Mexico, she lives in Colorado, and camp is this year it was in Pennsylvania. So we decided to go drive up there and then drive the East Coast, and visit people that we haven't seen in a while and see places that neither one of us has seen before.
Right, we figured, if we were going to drive all the way to Pennsylvania, we might as well go up to Maine and see Acadia. Yeah. And then we might as well go to Connecticut and do all that stuff. So we went on this excellent adventure, and that's what we want to tell you about today, is just about this epic road trip that we took, about all the adventures that we had and all the miracles that unfolded while we were on the road. And we're super excited to share this. Oh, so many lessons. Many lessons.
We learned a lot.
It was life-changing.
It was a life-changing, miracle-filled, fun-filled, amazing epic trip. And we took my puppy. I had a 3-month-old puppy that we took with us.
This would be a good time to show you a picture of the puppy. Let me go ahead and pull up this picture here real quick.
So when we started the trip, my puppy and I, we rode the Greyhound bus up to Colorado, and we spent a little under a week there so I could visit my grandbabies and other families, my mom. This is a picture that Taryn took in one of our favorite parks in our hometown. That's my puppy. That's Miss Tilly.
There's Tilly, the puppy. She was so good on the trip. What a good little dog. She was only 3 months old when we took off. And it was not my idea to bring a puppy on the road trip. But you asked me if it would be okay. And since she's going to be a therapy dog someday, we figured it would probably be a better idea for her to bond with Tori and really spend some good time with us, traveling and getting to know the world. She got exposed to so many things on this trip. She was really an awesome little trooper, and just added a whole nother dimension of fun to her little adventure. Oh, yeah. But she was great. She did. Yeah. She wore a little diaper everywhere we went, so she could go in and out of houses, and she was in a backpack, so we took her in the restaurants, so we took her in the museums, and she just came everywhere with us except camp. She wasn't allowed to go to camp, so Unfortunately, that's the story.
Got a babysitter though. We got her a babysitter for camp, and that worked out really well. It's called Rover. Rover.com.
Rover.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, fabulous. I highly recommend. So
anyway, this is kind of the beginning of our little adventure. We the day before we left, we got to ride in a Corvette. And both of us are totally in love with Corvettes. And so everywhere we went on the trip, we spotted Corvettes, we talked to people with Corvettes, we chased people down to go get rides. We just had this fun little thing about Corvettes on the trip. So, every time we saw a Corvette, it came up.
Yeah.
But this was the time we got to ride our first ride in a Corvette, so that
Oh,
was
it was
super fun.
amazing. It was amazing.
And then we went to Missouri. We stopped in Missouri one night and rested in the car on our way to Ohio. And we got up in the morning and we had breakfast at IHOP. One of our friends bought us some breakfast at IHOP in Missouri. And then we made it all the way to Ohio to go see my cousin. So the one in the middle there with the blue eyes, she's my cousin, and the one on the far right is her best friend. So we went to go have beers and wings with them in Ohio and visit with them and get to, reconnect with my cousin I haven't seen in years. Thank God
It
we
was
got to see them.
fabulous. I loved meeting her and her best friend. I think actually we both think we've met before, like when we were kids or something. Cause
Probably because we were little together, and my cousin
yeah,
has been around to cousins' parties and birthday parties and stuff, so you might have
as
run
I
into
was
her.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we probably met.
This is my friend Carmen. I knew her from high school, and she came to Cincinnati to come have beers with us and my cousins at the restaurant. So it was super cool to see her again too. Again, I haven't seen her in 30 years since we graduated from high school. So I was super excited to see my Carmi. This is my Aunt Garrel. We went to go visit her in the nursing home where she
Oh,
lives.
she's so sweet and so cute. She's also a breast cancer survivor.
That's right. And this is my cousin Jason. That he's my closest cousin. He's my closest age, and he and I really, spent a lot of time growing up together. He was in my wedding, so you've met him before too.
Yeah.
And then this is in Philadelphia. Are we ready for Philadelphia yet? Probably,
Yeah,
right?
so we stopped in Philadelphia to see my cousin, and her name's Hannah. Um, Unfortunately, we forgot to get a picture with her. I feel really bad about that, but
Yeah.
um, she was sweet enough to host us for a night as well. And I really wished I had had more time to spend with her, but we were running a little bit behind schedule, and we had to get to camp. We needed to
Right.
get to camp. We left Colorado on June 1st, and I had to be to camp by June 4th. So, not a lot of time. But Taryn got to
But we
see
spent the
her.
night with your cousin, and we spent the night with my cousin, and we had
Yeah,
breakfast with them in the morning. My cousin
yeah.
made us breakfast tacos that kept us going for a couple
Oh,
days.
heck yeah. Those were amazing.
They were so good. Um, and your cousin's row house that she lives in is just
Mhm.
beautiful. It looks like something out of a magazine. It's just really
Yes.
pretty, and it's old, and it's been there for a long time. And
Yeah.
the neighborhood she lives in is pretty neat. And this is a picture of my grandfather's house. So this is where my family lived from the 1920s through the 1960s. And my great grandmother raised four sons in this house. And you can kind of see on the back side of the house there's brick that looks a little different than the rest of it. And that's because my great grandfather built onto the back of this house. So it was super cool for me to go see the house where they lived and stand on the steps where my great grandmother
That was
stood.
really cool. And, that house is only like 5 or 10 minutes from my cousin's house.
This is back in Philadelphia again. I stayed with my cousin Bob, and I went to go visit his father, who is 98 years old. And he
And so he
recognized me.
lives
This is
here.
my uncle Bob
Hmm.
recognized me, and he kept asking me, "How's everybody? How's everybody?" And he was kissing my hand over and over and over again, kissing my hand and just hugging me. And I told him all the news about my family. And then we got the news a couple days later that he passed away.
Yeah.
So,
That was one of the miracles that happened on this trip is that after 10 years, she got to see her uncle before he passed away. And
yep,
I'm just so happy that they both got those moments together. It was
me
amazing.
too. My cousin said it was the last time he was really lucid, that he was able to really talk to anybody. He went to bed that night and didn't really come out of it again. So I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that I had this chance to see him. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
it was. It was.
Thank you for that opportunity, Tori.
Of course. Of course.
So here we are at camp. This is one of Tori's friends, a
That is
very colorful
Zoe.
friend.
I love them so much. They are just the most fun person and the most the sweetest person, so caring and so generous. An amazing.
And they have the world's funniest minivan. The
Oh my God,
minivan is
yes.
all decorated, and they have
You should
a,
have put a
a
picture of that up there.
karaoke machine in the minivan. I had to hunt them down to figure out whose van that was. Like when I saw the van, I was like, I gotta find that person because that person is really cool. So
Yeah,
anyway,
they have a skeleton all dressed up in the front seat, in the front passenger seat. Dressed up
because they're an
almost like
Uber
a pirate.
driver. Here we are at camp. This is
Okay.
when I arrived and I was ready to camp. You were there a day early to get stuff together because you were
Yeah.
volunteering, and um,
I was
I was
cabin
just a
leader.
yeah, you were a cabin leader, and I was just along for the ride and having a ball. So here we are getting checked in. This is a big campfire that they had. You can see that there are about 600 women at this camp.
That was the first night of camp.
600 women, and it was
Yeah.
really neat. It was a big campfire that they had. We were all out there. The next morning, the next
So
morning,
let
Tori,
me tell this. Okay, let me tell this. So, all along our trip on our way to camp, I kept telling Taryn, okay, we're going to do the polar plunge. We're going to do it. And she says, I will watch you do it. She says, there's no way you're going to get me out there. No way. I said, you know what? I said, you're going to do it and you're going to love it. All through the trip, she kept insisting she was not going to go. And I kept telling her, I'm not asking. I'm telling you, you're going to do it. So,
I was
on this
not in the mood to get in cold water. It was really cold. But we got all dressed up in our little swimsuits and we went out there with our buddies and we did it. We jumped off that dock into the cold water.
holding hands, all of us were holding hands. There was about 20 of us at a time.
Yep, you can
And
see
we
us
all
all
held
lined up on
hands
the
and
dock out
jumped in
there.
together. And it was amazing. It was so much fun. And guess
You-
what? Taryn
What?
loved it.
I survived. What I loved about it was the camaraderie. You know, being there with all the women together and realizing that we're all in this together. You know, we're all in this life together. We're all in the suffering together. We're all in the surviving together. And jumping into that cold water was really refreshing and felt like I survived something a little bit. You know, it felt like I just kind of thrived. Like I'm strong enough to do this. I'm strong enough to jump into the water and to swim back out again in the cold
Yeah.
water, which is not easy. You get in the cold water, your body does not want to cooperate a whole lot. But we got
Right.
out, and it was worth it. It was worth the experience of doing it, and I'll definitely do a polar plunge again someday.
Yeah.
Especially if you're with me. If you're with me and I have you, if I have
Same.
you to lean on and be brave.
Yeah, same. You know, and another lesson that the polar plunge gives us too is that, you know, we face things that are hard that we don't want to have to face, but we can do it. We
Right.
can do it and we can get through it and we are better for it. You
Right.
know?
We're better for
So,
facing the challenge and getting through it. And yep, I agree.
absolutely. Yeah,
It was way
absolutely.
cool.
So,
Thank you again for that opportunity.
of course, thank you for giving in.
I didn't have much choice. You were going to push me in the lake if I didn't go.
That's right. You know I would have too.
I decided to share this picture just because it was really meaningful to me. You see all those little bracelets there? Those are all bracelets that ladies make at the camp. And this woman had a tattoo on her arm that said "fuck cancer," and she's just standing up there holding hands with another friend. And you know, that was just kind of I think, a little illustration of how everyone was at the camp.
Yeah.
You know, it was just very loving, very inclusive, very healing,
Absolutely.
connecting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
amazing.
that's what this organization is all about. It's a community. This is a community of people. It's for anyone affected by breast or gynecological cancers. And you know, look at this. We 600 women all in one place and enjoying every minute of it. As a cancer patient, you have so much hurt in your life. You have so much fear and things are so up and down and it's a scary time. It's a very scary time in your life, and to be able to just let that go for a weekend and really enjoy being alive. You know, that's what it's about. And, you know, it's just every minute of it is absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend it for anybody going through breast or gynecological cancers. Everyone that is connected to the person who has been diagnosed with cancer is affected in one way or another. That brings me to mammograms and self-exams. Please, please, please keep up with those mammograms. And don't matter how old you are, you start in your teens and you do a self-breast exam every month. Pick one day out of the month. You do a breast exam, a self-breast exam. Please look it up. It's everywhere online. You can find out how to do it properly, and please do it, because that is what saved me. I found my own lump, and it was terrifying. It was surreal, but it helped me catch my cancer early, and it helped me survive. And
Thank God.
yeah, so please, 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 if you haven't done your mammogram, go get that done. Make that appointment today. If you haven't done your breast exam this month, get it done today, please.
Every time I'm in the shower, when I'm washing, I just kind of feel everything. I just feel like in my armpits. I just touched my chest and my breasts, and I make sure everything's kind of where they're supposed to be, and it feels all kind of normal. Every time I take a shower, I do that, and I think it's just become a habit for me. You know, I just kind of check them out when I'm washing there.
That's the best way to do it. It really is, because you get into that habit, and like you say, it becomes a habit, and it becomes second nature. And then you'll know.
And any change is going to be noticed right away, you know.
Right, right. And when you find a change, or if you find a change, hopefully you don't, but if you do, make that appointment immediately for as soon as possible.
Yeah, see, I feel like a ticking time bomb sometimes. It runs in my family, and that's the other thing that we should talk about a little bit. One of the things I learned from Camp Breastie was about genetic testing. And I told Tori one time, I'm like, I've been genetic tested. They said I was negative for BRCA. Well, what I learned was that there was a doctor that came and did a presentation about it. And I learned that there are hundreds, maybe thousands of different
gene mutations.
Mutations, thank you. Different mutations. And so they need to test for much more than just that one. And so I'm going to ask for a full panel to be done pretty soon of genetic testing for me, so that I've got the information for the younger women in my family. You know, like if I've got the gene, then it's possible that my child has the gene, or that my sisters have the gene. And so I just want to make sure that I get tested for it, so that I know what's up. That was one of the main
things. Your genetic testing, when you ask for your genetic testing, make sure to ask for a full panel, because it is common practice to only test for the BRCA gene, and that's not enough. You know, if you don't ask for the full panel, chances are you're not going to get it. It's not enough.
Here's a couple more pictures from camp. We're doing our archery lessons here. We went out to do archery. Here's another girl doing archery.
Oh, she was amazing. I love her. She's a sweetheart too.
She was.
Yeah.
It was kind of her first time trying, and she was really good at it.
Yeah.
And then we went to Woodstock. Oh wait, we're missing pictures of Breastival.
Oh, we are. We'll share those on our Instagram page.
Okay, we'll share those on our Instagram page. Let's talk about it a little bit, though. Breastival was amazing. They had a big parade firsthand. Everybody gets dressed up in costumes or outfits, like rave outfits. A lot of them lit up, really creative things, people walking by in a big parade. And then we all went down to a big, huge building where they had a band. They had a live band with a saxophone player that was pretty hot, and lights and lasers and smokes and all kinds of good stuff in there. We had mocktails. We weren't drinking any alcohol. And we were dancing around and having a great time. And then at the end of the thing, I got in the bouncy castle. And I'm jumping around in the bouncy castle and having a great time. And then I started to come out, and I stepped on the step and went boom, right on my face. I scraped up my chin and my lip and my cheek. And Tori could not stop laughing at me. What a pal, huh?
That's my bestie right there.
So the rest of the trip, I had all these scabs on my face, and I had to explain to people why I fell out of the bouncy castle. Yes, 50 years
I
old,
think
falling out of the
it was
bouncy
okay
castle.
before I started laughing.
Are you okay? Yes. What happened?
Every time we talk about it, I cannot help but laugh my ass off.
Right. So these braids were the wigs that we wore at the festival. That's why I was wearing this today, because we wore these funny
Yeah.
little ponytails. We
We
had
both
kind of
had
matchy
those.
outfits, and we looked totally cute. So
Yeah, I think there's a
find that
picture in here
picture on our
somewhere.
Instagram.
Yes, yes, definitely check out our Instagram. It is Healing with Traveling Treasures, and I will be, so far there's not a whole lot up there. There's a couple little videos, but we're gonna add pictures, and we'll probably add pictures for most of our episodes. But yes, I'll put those pictures on
Yay!
there for sure.
So what's next after this?
We
Woodstock.
went to Woodstock.
We
got
went
go
to
the
Woodstock.
Museum. Yes.
So I am a big, huge hippie fan. I love music, and well, both of us
I
do.
love
What the heck?
music
We
too.
sang every song that driver knew for 6,000 miles.
Genres too. So.
Right. That's right. All the different rap, rock, all kinds of stuff.
Oldies,
Oldies,
newbies,
movies.
country.
Yep.
Yep.
And so here we are at Woodstock, right where Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix played their famous concert in 1969.
It was so
And that
awesome
was
to
super
see.
cool. We had such a good time there.
Yeah.
This is kind of a funny little story where we were driving down the highway and I see my tarp kind of flapping in the wind, and I look back there, and all of a sudden one of my boxes flew off the back of the car. And so it happened to be the box that was containing all of these little things that I had made. They were little hand sewn bags and little flower arrangements and things that I made. And I was intending to give them away to people along our trip and stuff. And so
Well, and we
um,
did. We gave them away to a lot of people.
we did, but
Mhm.
first we were driving down the highway, and I said we should not go back for that and risk our lives for that stuff. And you said absolutely we should. You made those things. It took you hours and hours and hours to make that stuff. We're going to go back and get it. And so we turned around and we went back on the highway, and this is us on the side of the highway picking up the prettiest trash along the side because the box got hit by a car. It got knocked off to the side of the highway, and all my stuff was just spread out for about a quarter mile there. So we're just walking down picking up, and mostly everything survived. You know,
Yeah.
we've lost
The
a couple
box
little
itself
flower
was
arrangements.
completely obliterated.
The
But all
box
of the
was,
stuff on the side of the road was almost perfect. Like there was a few little broken flowers or whatever,
but
and a
nothing
couple of them were
major.
a little dirty.
I got all my bags back and stuff, so I'm glad
Yeah,
we stopped. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we stopped.
Of course.
So here we are at Acadia National Park in Maine. So we made it all the way up to Maine, and we went to Acadia, and Acadia was just beautiful. We saw lots of
Gorgeous. The
islands and
northernmost,
oceans.
the northernmost national park in the U.S.
That's right, the
Yeah.
northernmost. It was really neat to be up there.
Yeah, it was so beautiful.
This is me sitting on the beach at Acadia, enjoying the sand. It was kind of cold that day, but it was so nice to be out
It
there and
wasn't
just see
bad
the
though. It
water.
was beautiful. I loved it.
And
Yeah.
there's you and the puppy.
Yes. Walking on the beach. That was her
There's
first
some
time.
lobster buoys.
Yes.
I
Those
loved
were,
Maine. It was really neat. I
yeah.
want to make a buoy like that and then go lobster fishing next time we're there. I want to make a purple and white buoy. I already have my design.
This is my cousin Maxine. She's my cousin by marriage. She married my cousin Aaron. They are both amazing people. I love them so so much. They mean so much to me. Maxine is a chef. She made this plate of hors d'oeuvres for us in like that. Like she went into the kitchen and she was back and forth talking to us and you know making this amazing food, and I had no idea she was done like that, and I was like, oh my god, you made that.
She did. She made them
And it
from
was
scratch, and they were
delicious.
amazing.
Yes. Oh
Amazing.
my gosh, so amazing. Such great food. And my cousin Aaron, he owns a, a chiropractor business. He's a chiropractor, Dr. Aaron Vela. If you live up in Maine, Portland, Maine, or the surrounding areas, please, please give him a call. He's an absolute miracle worker, I have to tell you. So, long
Brand
time
new
ago,
office too, spanking brand new
yes,
office. It's
it's
beautiful.
beautiful.
He's got all kinds of rooms in there and
Hmm.
equipment. He's got a full exercise equipment area,
Hmm.
rehab area. He's just got everything,
He
and
does.
he's fantastic. He
He
did an
is.
adjustment on me, and um, and and did the cupping,
Hmm.
and we both felt better for days afterwards, especially
Yeah.
those leg things that they had on you.
Yes, my legs were swollen, swollen, and he did the leg things, and ugh, it helped so much.
So we really enjoyed that adjustment, and that was really helpful and fun, and I'm really glad we got to do that. And this is us saying, I don't know, just
That
hugging the
was
family.
Yeah, that was when we were
We're
getting ready to leave, and it
saying,
was so hard to leave my cousins. But
I know, I have pictures of myself. I don't know why I did this, but I took pictures of myself crying every time we left somewhere because I was like, I didn't want to leave anywhere that we went. I wanted to stay
me
longer
either.
everywhere.
Me too. I wish we'd have had more time to spend with everyone. Your cousins, my cousins, friends, everywhere. It would have been nice. But we were gone for an entire month. So,
I know.
and Taryn has a family to take care of. So,
They
they
did
were
fine.
so sweet letting us, do our little adventure. So I'm grateful for them as well. So,
Right. This
so
is the
while in
Portland
Maine,
Headlight.
yes.
Portland Headlight Lighthouse.
It was both of our first time actually going to see a lighthouse in person, and it was just amazing. It was so
Yeah.
beautiful there, so beautiful. Until he loved it. And
Here
then
we are in
Salem.
Salem. Here
Oh
you
my
can see my
gosh.
face all screwed up from falling out of the bouncy castle. Looking so good. But here we are at the Salem Witch Museum. Our birthdays are on either side of Halloween, so we absolutely love witches. We love Halloween stuff, and this was right up our alley to go to
Oh
Salem and
yeah. We both
hang out
always
with the
wanted to go
witches.
there. We both
We
wanted to
had a good
visit
time.
forever. It was amazing. It was so much fun. Walked
And
around, saw cemeteries. It was really cool.
we had dinner in Boston that night. We had fried seafood in Boston.
Yeah. That was really delicious too. It was so good. There's another lighthouse. This one was. Where was this
This
one?
one was in Connecticut.
Okay. Oh, that's right. That was in Connecticut. Yeah, we stopped in Connecticut to see a friend of mine. She's a beautiful person that I met last year on my way home from camp. We were gonna stay with her for a night too, but she actually was not feeling well, so we just visited for a little bit and went on our way to Connecticut. Or we were in Connecticut, sorry, but we went on to see the lighthouse,
Hmm.
and it was gorgeous. It was so beautiful there. It was a lot of fun, and then we went to Mystic Pizza. Hopefully,
Mystic Pizza, like the movie from the
yes,
90s. We went to
yes,
Mystic Pizza where they filmed it, and it was so fun to be in there. They had all kinds of pictures of Julia Roberts up on the walls,
yeah.
and
Just
then
all
we
the
came home
pictures
and watched the movie together, and it
we
was
did.
really cool to
We
be like,
did.
we were there, we were sitting there. Remember, we were standing right there by that window. It was
Heck
really neat
yeah.
to see.
And if you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend you go watch it because it is a really cute movie. It's a very good movie. It was
It
when
is a
Julia
sweet
Roberts was
movie.
very young. Very young.
And the pizza is to die for.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm not a big pizza person, but that pizza was delicious and I want to go back for more.
Me too. I loved it. And Mystic was such a neat little town.
It is. It's such a
It's a
cute
really
town.
pretty little town.
Beautiful. Yeah, I highly recommend visiting that if you ever get the chance to. If you're in the vicinity, definitely check it out. Highly
Yep.
recommend.
Here's
Oh,
our crab cakes in
yes,
Baltimore.
this was in Baltimore. Oh,
We
so
stopped and
good.
had crab cakes. They were so good.
Yeah.
And then here we are
Washington, D.C.
in Washington,
One
D.C.
dream that I've always had was to go see the Smithsonian, and we did it. I'm so excited about that.
It was kind of a screwed up day though, because we got there just in time for the crazy army parade, the army anniversary parade.
Yeah.
And there were thousands and thousands and thousands of people in the streets,
20,000 people.
and you couldn't get from one side of the street to the other. They had it all blocked off, and you couldn't get around for anything. They had a bunch of Lime scooters and stuff like that sitting around, but people were using them. It was hard to get one. But the museums were relatively empty because everybody was there for the parade, and we were not for the parade. We were there
Yeah.
for the museums. So we were pretty happy to be in the museums relatively empty, all by
Yeah.
ourselves.
That was amazing. It was it was so nice not to have to go through crowds and crowds of people at these museums that are probably always pretty packed.
Right? I went to the Native American Museum and to the Modern Art Museum, and Tori went to the American History Museum.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool. We both got a lot of really cool pictures of some really cool stuff, and it was amazing being able to go actually see it. Wish we would have had more time there too to see, more. There's 22 museums in the Smithsonian, and I did not know. I knew there was a lot, but I didn't realize there was that many.
I
So,
didn't either until I
yeah.
got there. And then it
Yeah.
was hard to choose what we were going to do
It
because you can
was. It
only,
was that's why
take.
we went to separate museums because we were both like, "Oh my god, I want to see everything." So we both decided, "Okay, I'm going to go here and then I'm going to go here and we'll meet up afterwards." It was pretty
And
cool.
here's Tilly at the Smithsonian. We took Tilly to the Smithsonian.
Yay! How many dogs do you know that have seen the Smithsonian?
Right? He's a very well-educated puppy.
She is. She is.
So this is just a little picture I thought I'd include to show you guys what our van looks like when we were traveling. This is when we were going down the road, when our stuff was relatively packed up and in the back and we were cruising down the road. We have a bed set up back here. We
We
had
have a
little
coffee
curtains.
machine.
What'd you say?
I said we had a coffee machine for the
A
mornings.
coffee machine. That's right. We had a coffee
Yeah.
maker. We had everything we needed, man, right there in the car,
Yeah.
except a bathroom. We have
Right.
to, we always have to find a bathroom. That was the one thing we needed. But otherwise, we were all set. So, yeah, this was our traveling setup. But we have a lot of stuff with us because we had a lot of ideas and we had a lot of camp stuff. We had
Yeah.
stuff for the camp and we had stuff for our little business that we were going to do. We're going to try to sell some of our crafts on the road, and we never got around to it. We had so much other stuff to do, we never got
Yeah.
around to setting up our little table. But one of these days, we're going to have a little craft table, and we'll sell some of our things that we make because
Absolutely. Yeah,
we're
we
both
slept in the
crafters.
van a few nights. We did sleep in the van a few nights, but most of our trip we stayed in the Cousins hotel chain all across
That's
the U.S.
right. The Cousins Hotel chain, 2 thumbs up, highly recommend.
5 stars all across the board.
Excellent food
Excellent food. Oh my gosh, and accommodations were always perfect.
and entertainment.
Oh yeah, yeah, the entertainment was amazing.
So here we are at Myrtle Beach. We made it to Myrtle Beach.
Oh, we spent a day at the beach. Actually, not the whole day because it did start to rain on us.
We spent a nice hour and a half at the beach before the sky opened up and started raining, but we were ready to go anyway. It was fine.
Yeah, yeah.
We
It
had
was
a good time.
really good time. Yeah.
Now we made it down to
South
we're in
Carolina.
in South Carolina now,
I
and I
got
want
to
you to tell this
visit.
part.
Yeah, I got to visit my cousin. This is my cousin Lynn, and so she is on my biological father's side, which I never got to know that family. I was raised by my stepdad, who was my daddy, my whole life, and I did go there. My mom and my biological father took me there right after I was born, so I was there for about 5 months when I was a baby. But we moved back to Colorado when I was about a year old, and I haven't seen them since. And I never knew them. I never got to know any of them. I didn't even know their names until recent years. When I several years ago we did reconnect over the phone and over Facebook. But I met her one time about 6 years ago, and so this is the first time I've seen her since then. And we got to stay at her house, and it was amazing because she was telling me all about this family that I just never knew. She showed me so many pictures. My grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents. She told me stories. She told me who was who. She gave me so many pictures and needlework. She gave me a bunch of needlework that my grandmother and my great-grandmother had made. The one person in the family that I remembered from when I was little is my Aunt Bee. And she would always, every year, she would send me cards and letters on my birthday and Christmas. And I used to be so excited to get these. And, of course, I never met her in person, but just getting these in the mail as a child, I was so excited. But, so Lynn got to tell me all about my Aunt Bee, and I got to see pictures of her for the first time ever. And she gave me this little brass lipstick holder that she said was always on my Aunt Bee's dresser. And along with a couple little, like, lapel pins and a ring, and that stuff just means so much to me because I never got to know this family. And now I feel like I'm starting to get to know them. And it's kind of, go ahead.
What was beautiful for me to see was that they had always wondered what happened to that baby. They always wondered what happened to you. They were thinking about you and remembering you, and you were on their minds all that time. And your cousin was so excited. Your cousin was so excited that you...
I know, sorry. I never thought that, any of them ever thought about me. I figured they all forgot about me. So, yeah, it was neat.
They never did. And she was so touched that you cared about the family.
Yeah.
She was so touched that you cared about all these historic pictures that she held on to, and all these things that your grandmothers made. And she took us to see the graves, and she took us to see the homes where they lived.
Yeah.
And it was really, really special to watch you just uncover all that history, all that, and that connection with that family that you've never had before.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Oh my gosh. And Lynn and I, we just connected like this, like immediately.
Right.
Like we talked and talked, and we laughed, and we felt the connection,
Yeah.
And it was really neat to have that.
And her husband is a generational moonshine distiller. So I had a good time too.
You sure did.
I had one glass of that stuff, and I was like, I can drink, let me tell you. It slept real good. That was excellent moonshine, though. It went down so smooth. Usually moonshine is pretty harsh, but this one was almost like smoked whiskey. He did a special thing with it, and it was wonderful. I loved it.
I had a little taste of it, and it was really good. I've had moonshine before, and most of it, like she says, is kind of harsh, but no, it was good. It was really good.
That was what was so fun about traveling and eating everywhere, was that we just got to kind of taste a little bit of the whole eastern United States. We had a little bit of lobster, we had crab, we had oysters, we had moonshine in South Carolina. Oh, and we'll get to that in Georgia in a little while here pretty soon. But yeah, actually that's coming up next.
Yeah.
But let's see. What else did you want to say about South Carolina?
That's good. What's our next picture?
Oh, you went to Varnville too. I thought that was neat that you went to the...
That's right. So my birth name is Varn. And so apparently my family founded this little town in South Carolina way back in like the 1700s. And it was two brothers, I think, that came from Europe, and they were given a land grant from the Queen over there. And they founded this little town, and it's still there. It's called Varnville, and I got to go visit it, and it was amazing. It's a cute little town, real pretty. And I was kind of talking to some of the locals and trying to see if anybody knew any history. And I found this guy that he said, you know what, I don't know a lot, but I think I know someone who does. And so he gets on his phone and he calls a friend of his and told him, hey, this lady's here asking for some history. So he got on the phone with me and was just telling me all sorts of stuff. He knows everything. And it was so neat to talk to him and to hear him tell me all sorts of stuff about Varnville and the history of it. And I actually got his name and phone number. He said I could call him anytime. He had asked me who my grandparents were, and at the time I couldn't remember their names because, like I say, I've never known them. But I told him, I says, well, when I get back to my cousins, I will find out and I'll give you a call. And I haven't yet had a time to give him a call, but I'm plan to. And I'm so excited to know him and to be able to talk to him some more, and it's really neat. So
You should record that phone call when you talk to him, just so
I
that you
did.
can remember everything. Oh, did you?
Well, I recorded the one that we had there. Yeah, I did. I recorded that conversation. That way I wouldn't forget everything. But
That's good.
yeah, but I plan to record the next one I have with him too. So absolutely.
And you came back to the car with this enormous pineapple drink.
They were
That was
having
such a treat.
Yeah, they were having their watermelon festival, and so there was a bunch of food trucks out there, and so yeah, I was like, hey, we need a cold drink. It was delicious too. It was so yummy.
We enjoyed that pineapple for a long time after that.
Heck yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
So then we went down to Georgia.
What's our change? There we go.
We went to Georgia, and this is my friend Mike over there on my left, or on, I guess it's on the left side of the picture, on my right in the picture, and then his mother is sitting next to me on the other side, and then Tori's over there and holding the little dog. Tori was not feeling very good that day. She was feeling kind of tired and didn't feel like, because we had been through a lot at that point. Like we
I was
were,
having a hard day. I was having a
yeah,
hard day.
you were having a hard day, and so we decided
Couldn't
that the
walk very
wheelchair
well.
would be the way to do it. So I had hip replacement surgery in January, but miraculously I was healthy enough to push you through the place, and it worked out great. I'm so excited that we got to go.
Yeah,
The aquarium is the biggest aquarium in the United States,
it was amazing.
and
It was my first time at any aquarium. I'd never been to an aquarium before, believe it or not. But it was so fun. It was so amazing. We got to see all sorts of stuff: hammerhead sharks, beluga whales, turtles, just so many things. So many
it
things.
was amazing. And we dressed up because it was glow night
Yeah.
at the aquarium. So we wore our rave outfits to the aquarium. We dressed up our friends too, and we were handing out glow sticks and mood rings to kids at the aquarium. We had a ball. It was so
We did.
freaking fun.
It was
Yeah,
so much
it was
fun.
just beautiful day, wonderful company. Mike and his mama hosted us at their house, and
So
she
sweet.
made every Southern comfort food you can think of for us. We had fried chicken, fried okra, fried green tomatoes, corn, we had gravy, we had, I mean, what all did she make? Everything.
Banana pudding and what was
Banana
the other?
pudding,
Uh, oh, sweet potato pudding. Oh my God,
sweet potato pudding.
so delicious. Everything was so good.
It
So
was
good.
like Thanksgiving dinner though. It was so
It
much
was.
work. And I had so much fun with her though, like just cooking with her. She really loves cooking. Cooking and food is just her most
Her love
favorite thing.
language.
And so, yeah,
Hmm.
her love language. And so it was really neat to be in the kitchen with her and just be her little sous chef for the day. And we made all that food, and it was just, like I said, it was like Thanksgiving, like working all day long, having this big feast. Fabulous. It was so fun. And then we had leftovers from that for a few days too.
Oh yeah, she
And
sent
she
us
took us to
so much
that world
food.
market where they had all the neat
Yeah,
food, and
there was such cool stuff there. Things I've never ever even imagined. It was so cool.
I want to go back to Atlanta. Atlanta
Me
was neat.
too. It was really cool. Oh, there's
She
Judy.
was like, she was so childlike in there with wonder,
I
just
love
the
that picture.
aquarium is her favorite place to be in the
Yeah,
whole world, and she was overjoyed to take us there and show us her favorite place. And so I just love this picture of her. She just looks
I
so,
do too. I love that picture. Oh,
and
and
here
that's
we are.
Florida.
in Florida.
Yeah, so this is my other cousin, also from my biological father's side, rather. That's Sharon. Her and I had never met in person, well, except for when I was a tiny baby, but I don't remember that. But yeah, so her and I have spoken on Facebook for a few years, and we've spoken on the phone a few times, but this was my first time meeting her in person, and that's her husband as well, and they were such amazing people. They were so nice, and they bought us dinner that first night, and then they hosted us at their house for a night. They have a beautiful house right on the river, and we swam in their pool like so late at night, just drinking wine and floating in the pool and talking, and it was so cool to see her and to really get to know her a little bit too.
That was awesome. So we thought we were looking at the ocean when we got to their house
Did.
because they live on the, what
St.
is it, St.
John?
James River?
St. John.
St. John River.
Yeah.
And the St. John River, we learned, is one of two rivers in the entire world that flows north. So the other river is the Nile River, but this one flows north, and it's very, very, very wide. And so when you're sitting there looking at it, it looks like you're in a bay or something in the ocean.
Yeah.
It looks like you're looking at the ocean, but it's just a big, wide river. And when we were sitting there, we saw sea turtles, and we saw an alligator.
Swimming in the
That was my
lake.
first wild gator.
Mine too. Mine too.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Their house is absolutely amazing, and
Yeah.
and their company was so fun. We just had such a good time there. It
What's
was
the
really
next
nice
picture?
floating around the pool.
That is the
This is
dock behind their house.
the dock behind their house. This is sunrise.
Yeah.
So I got up
It
at
is
sunrise to
gorgeous.
run out and take the picture.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Yeah.
That's where we saw the alligator floating out there.
Yeah. We were sitting out at the end of the dock. So our next stop was New Orleans, and these are our oysters and our uh,
Bloody
Like-
Marys.
and
Bloody
they
Mary.
were so good. Everything there was amazing. It was the Acme Oyster House, right there in the French Quarter, and it was so amazing. The food was just to die for, and the drinks too. Oh, they were
We had red beans and rice. We had etouffee. We had jambalaya,
and gumbo. We just had a whole,
like a sampler
everything.
platter.
Yeah, yeah. So we
We
got
did
to
good
taste
making
a
that
lot
order.
of
I think
stuff, and it was
that was a
so
good idea.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
we
it's delicious. And then we were dancing in the rain at the Zydeco
Yes.
with the Zydeco band, and this is one of the guys that was out there dancing with me in the street, and we just stopped to take a picture with him. He was so nice.
He
He was
was
super
cool.
cute.
When we first got out there, we were standing by this trash can that had like a metal top on it, and he
Yeah.
jumped up there and was dancing on top of this trash can, and he just reminded me of Sammy Davis Jr.
Exactly.
The
That's
way
how he was dancing. He
danced.
was
It was
doing
so cute, and he was just, it was amazing. It was so much fun to watch. There
and here we are
My
in the
friends
rain,
are in the
happy
rain.
as hell.
Yes, there was so much rain, but we didn't even care. We were sopping wet, but we had such a good time. Such a good time.
I'm going back for a week next time.
Same, I know. That was our first time in both of our first time in New Orleans too. It was our first time in so many of the places.
Right.
But this is
Yeah,
Texas.
I'd never been to Maine before. I'd never been to South Carolina or North Carolina. I've been to Pennsylvania once, but there were
I've
lots
been
of
to
places I didn't.
Pennsylvania, New York, Jersey, Florida, but the rest of the states on the East Coast I had not been to. So it was awesome. So this is Texas. I needed to take Taryn to the WASP Museum, and now that stands for Women Air Force Service Pilots. So in the World War II, the women flew the planes, and they were not considered military. They were considered civilians, mainly because they were women.
So they didn't get any of the military benefits, but they had all of the danger of flying these planes from the United States where they were manufactured overseas for the soldiers. And so they were trained as pilots. they had to go through a heck of a lot, and their story is just absolutely amazing. But the thing was, we drove for like 8 hours to get to this place, and we made it by like 4:55. We got there just in the nick of time, right before they were going to close. And I ran in with tears in my eyes, and I was like, "We've been driving for 6,000 miles to get here." And all I want to do is see this museum. Please let us in. And they let us in for free. We didn't have to pay to get in. Thank God. That was so nice of them. And then they let us run through. She told us to start with the planes. And so we went in to go see the planes first. And then we went in to see the rest of the place. And we were there for a while. But I definitely want to make a return trip back there again. The planes were amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I got the chance to see it and to hear that story a little bit because, man, what
It was.
there's so many things that people did during World War II that went unnoticed. There were a lot of people, a lot of civilians that stepped up to help in the war effort, and these women were remarkable.
They were, and I highly recommend visiting this museum as well. It is in Sweetwater, Texas. It's in a big airplane hangar.
Right.
And it's just, there's so much history there, and it's, history that everybody should know, and most people don't, but it was my second time being there. I had been there before. I'd taken my kids there years ago, and I knew Taryn would appreciate it, so I'm glad.
I did appreciate it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. So I think that's the end of our photos. Oh, nope, here's one more of me and the Colorado sign.
After Sweetwater, she dropped me off at home in New Mexico, and she stayed a night there with me, and then she had to rush home because it was her daughter's birthday the next day.
Yep.
So this is her on her way home to Colorado.
It was interesting driving from New Mexico. It's kind of arid and kind of plain in New Mexico, and then you come around this corner on I-25 and you see the Colorado sign, and then all of a sudden the world is just different. Whoa! It's Colorado, and there's mountains and there's colorful green everything, and it's all red and green and blue and gorgeous, and it was just really kind of neat to see my home state from another angle. Like I haven't been up I-25 from New Mexico. I usually go the Santa Fe route. So it was really cool. Anyway, that was the end of my trip, and it was so amazing. We learned so much on this trip.
Yes, we did. We really did. We learned a lot of lessons. So one thing I would like to talk about as far as we're going to go back to camp. By the way, we are both wearing Camp Breastie t-shirts, if you haven't noticed. We just really want to, give them some credit and advertise for them because they are such an amazing community. And I highly recommend if you are going through either of those things, please, breast or gynecological cancers, please find them. There's a website you can go to, thebreasties.org. And they have an app that you can put on your phone. It's amazing, and they have an Instagram and a Facebook page as well, so you can find them just about anywhere. But anyway, so when we were at camp, we did open mic night. Well, I did open mic night. I have this song that I sang last year, and I'm a terrible singer, but I did it anyway. And the reason I did it was because I just wanted to share a little bit of my story with my breasties, and I knew that if there was any crowd that was going to accept me up there with my terrible voice, it was the breasties. So anyway, I got up there last year and I sang this song, and I did a shitty job, and everybody just hooped and hollered and cheered me on the entire time, and afterwards they just made me feel like a celebrity because everybody was coming up to me for the rest of the time there, telling me what a great job I did and how they were so proud of me, and it gave them the courage to do it next time, and just all these positive things, right? So I thought, okay, this year I practiced a lot more, and because last year it was just on a whim, I hadn't expected to do it, but this year I practiced all year, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do it again and be better this year, right? And at camp, people were stopping me before open mic night. Oh my God, are you going to sing again this year? Please, I hope so. And I was like, yeah. And everybody was like, yay, I was hoping. And that's the whole reason I'm going and blah, blah, blah. So I was so excited. And I get up there, yeah, and I could not hear the music from the stage at all. And so every now and then I would hear just like a little tiny bit of it, And so I was up there trying to sing, but I kept getting, I couldn't keep my place.
Got lost
Yeah,
because you couldn't hear the music, so you couldn't sing along because
yeah. And
you
every
don't know where
time I
you're
heard
at.
a little clip, I'd be like, okay, I know where we are. And then it would sound different and I couldn't hear it. And it was terrible. And I kept apologizing. I think I made him start over like 2 or 3 times. And after a while, my bestie, who was in the audience, she came up on stage to save me. And she got up on stage and she took the mic and she says, hey, this is my bestie, and here we are. And she says, well, hey, let's just sing the verse of our song. So this song, I told her a while back, I played it for her and I said, this song always makes me think of you, and it's Best Friend by Saweetie. And so we always sing it to each other, and every time it comes on, we're just both singing it at the top of our lungs, and I put it as my ringtone when she calls me, so it's kind of our song.
And
And
just for those of you who don't know, Saweetie is a rap artist, and the rap song has words in it that we should not have sung
yeah,
live on stage.
yeah.
The words are
And
culturally
I,
widely used, but not really acceptable.
yeah,
And I openly admit that we messed up. I messed up. I went up there. I don't know what I was thinking exactly, just that we were in the moment, we were having a good time. I was in front of a group of adults. I thought that it would be okay to sing the song. We only sang a couple lines of it, really.
yeah. And
But
just the
I
first
said,
2 little verses is all we sang.
right,
And
and
they were playing
there's
it
a
for us.
reference to a racial slur at the beginning of the song.
Hmm.
And so I said the lyrics, and apparently some of the women at the place, I mean, in the moment we were up there on the stage, it sounded like everybody was cheering for us, like
We
we were
were.
really,
Everybody was cheering and hooting and hollering again, and
yeah,
afterwards, people were. It was the same as last year. Everybody was coming up to both of us, and oh my God, you guys did so great. It was so sweet seeing you both up there, and just
right.
nothing but positive feedback.
Right,
Nothing
and
but
we were told that our friendship was so cute that they liked
yeah,
seeing us up there together, and they got the idea that we were singing the best friend song, like
right,
that's.
yeah.
And so, but later on,
A couple
we
days later,
discovered, like once we got home, actually, basically, or while we were still on the road,
we
people
were on the
started
road. Yeah.
emailing us, and there were some people that were offended by the words that we used on stage. And so, I would like to officially apologize again
Hmm.
for doing that, for saying those words. I didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't feel like a racist. I really love black people and black culture, and so much so that I forgot that it's not mine for a little while, and
Yeah, same.
I-
We both wrote full apologies and put them on the Camp Breastie uh, uh, social conversation, and I am so sorry for making that mistake. And I mean, I am human. I do make mistakes, and but this was a big one. It hurts me deeply to know that I hurt anybody else, and it just I can't apologize enough. And I know that the apologies they don't make it any better. Um, but I have to acknowledge it, and I have to take um, accountability for my actions, and I hope that I can be forgiven, but I don't expect it. Uh, and I have had a few of the Black Breasties reach out to me and thank me for my apology, which means the world to me. But it kills me that I've hurt anybody in any way.
well, We can't undo the damage. I am very sorry that we did that too, and I really hope that it doesn't damage your relationship with the Breasties forever, because I know how much they mean to you, and I know how much work you've put into the organization, volunteering your time to earn money for the scholarships, volunteering your time to organize things for our cabin, volunteering your time to run cabin activities at the camp, and just your advocacy for the group in general. It breaks my heart that you might be ostracized from them forever. I hope that that's not the case.
And that breaks my heart too. I mean, like I say, this community means so much to me, and I hope that I can mend our fences. But at the same time, if I can't, if I'm not allowed there anymore, I will always advocate for them, because I know what a great community they are, and I understand the mistake that I made, and I understand how impactful it is. But I will always advocate for them, and I will always, try and spread the word and tell people how great of a community they are. And I do hope that you check them out if you are one of us.
Me too. I have nothing negative to say about the Breasties. Everything that I experienced there was wonderful, and I'm really sorry that I made someone else's experience not so wonderful.
But that was the big lesson that we learned on our trip. We did learn a lot of lessons on our trip, but that was the biggest one right there, the most impactful one for both of us, I think. But yeah.
There were a lot of other lessons we learned too, though, positive lessons. We learned a lot of lessons about the fact that life is short and that we should take that trip. We should spend that time with those people that we care about. You should definitely
reconnect with people that you love or love.
Take every opportunity to reconnect with people that you love.
Yeah. Get coffee with a friend that you haven't seen in a while.
Go see your great uncle.
Yeah. You never know, right? You never know. We are not promised tomorrow, so do it. Make that phone call, do that meetup, take the trip, because it is so worth it. I mean, we both kind of did go back and forth in the beginning about doing this road trip, and there were reasons why we both wanted to be back by certain times, and everything. But you know what? Looking back, I am so glad that we did the whole thing.
Me
I'm
too.
so glad
And I
that we
think
stopped at every place that we wanted to, and it was life-changing. It was a life-changing trip, and I'm so grateful for it.
Absolutely.
And I'm grateful that I got to do it with my bestest friend from kindergarten. Right? I could not ask for a better road trip mate.
If you guys are interested in hearing about our history, we've been friends for 44 years, and our first episode of this podcast is going to tell you all about that. So go back and watch that first episode if you want to hear about our friendship.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on our journey today of our 6,000-mile road trip with a puppy. So great to recall all of those adventures, and
Absolutely.
I can't wait to go on another one soon.
Me too. We have plans. But I just want to make a couple shameless plugs. One is the Breasties, like I say, highly recommend breasties.org. thebreasties.org, sorry. And again, they are on Instagram and on Facebook as well under the Breasties. Also, my cousin, his practice, it's called Body Back Chiropractics and Physical Therapy. All of his information is on his website, which is bodybackchiro.com.
We'll include links in the comments below.
We will include all these links, and his name is Dr. Aaron Vela. Amazing. He's magical. That's all I have to say. So please, if you're in the Portland area, look him up and get your appointment on the books, because you will not regret it. I think that's all we have for today, and I want to thank you all for listening and watching, and we'll see you back on our next episode.
Absolutely. Bye.
Happy travels, everyone!
Happy travels indeed.